Hello, everyone, and welcome to this podcast from the Light Review. We're here yet again with our friends from Xicato, who are sponsoring this event. And today we're talking with Ali Kay, who's Director and Head of Development at Stoane Lighting. If you were lucky enough to watch the previous podcast with Julia O'Reilly of Sutton Vane Associates, you remember that we talked about the absence of the manufacturer in the design conversation. And one of the strange things that's happened with, let's call it the LED revolution, is that it's almost as if the LED has outstripped the luminaire in people's thinking. So this is, in a way, this is Ali putting the story straight, that we are now back to, if you like, me, I'm a designer, Ali, he's a manufacturer, and Patrick makes lamps, sort of thing, which sounds like a very old-fashioned thing to be talking about. But Ali, it's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Patrick, well done. You're here as well. Great. And it's not snowing anymore in Eindhoven, is it?
No, not anymore. No. Thank you.
Good. Right. I'm going to start this off with the reason that we're here, and the reason that Xicato are putting their name about a little bit, is that they have come up with this great wheeze that we now have a 10-year warranty on Xicato light engines. And that is exactly the way that we've all been hoping and wishing that the LED world would go. If we're looking at things that should be lasting 10, 20, 30 years, then the old idea of giving a 12-month guarantee never made any sense. But Xicato are not on their own in this, because companies like Stoane Lighting have got their own program in terms of longevity and what their fittings mean over time. So, Ali, I'd like to start, if you don't mind, with asking you how Xicato's initiative to front up with this long-term warranty matched with, or was in competition with, or somehow might have affected the program that you guys were running at Stoane Lighting.
Yeah, well, pick up on your first point. You were saying the relationship with the lighting designer and in terms of the specification of sources. I think Xicato did a fantastic job persuading the market that Xicato sources were the ones to use. And in fact, we wanted to use the modules as much as the lighting designers who were telling us to. So that's the first point. But in terms of the 10-year warranty on the XIM and XTM platform, it fits perfectly with what we've always aimed to do, and that's design products to last. And in fact, with the circular economy now, the best thing to do for a circular economy design product is to design it to last in a module that will last 10 years with the LED module manufacturer's warranty. Perfect. It's a brilliant place to start.
Ali, then from your point of view, we're calling it circular economy, and it's become a very on-trend thing to do and we know why. But again, in the same way that Patrick's saying that right from the early days of Xicato, those LED engines modules were already there. Now, your fixtures have always been made, I think, on circular economy principles, whether we were actually talking about circular economy or not. Am I right there?
Indeed, yeah. The ethos has always been to design and manufacture products that will last. A part of that is about a simplicity of design, making sure that they can be bolted together, avoiding the use of adhesives and that sort of thing that make disassembly and repair difficult. So yeah, the circular economy is incredibly important, rightly a topic that's being discussed all over the market at the moment. But when you look back at what we've done over the years, we've always held that as a core of what we do. So confident in the way that we've approached things over the years that we've recently made the commitment to honour a 5-year warranty, but beyond that, a 25-year duty of care. So similar to the way Xicato are approaching that, they have a confidence in the product reliability and can make bold statements based on that. So the warranty stands, but we will make a commitment to help out, repair, upgrade anything that is needed to maintain the life of a fitting for as long as it possibly can.
I have to say that some of the conversations I've had around circular economy are clearly taken from the day one end of a luminaire going into service. This luminaire can be taken apart. Bits of it can be replaced. I am left wondering how many of those companies are really thinking about what happens in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years time, when you actually need to be able to do that. And I just have a suspicion that one or two of these people are going to get caught out, because much as their hearts are in the right place, the actual literal nuts and bolts of making this work possibly aren't quite in place.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's going to take a bit of time to implement, and indeed, legislation that will come out will help people. So that will drive people down the right route in terms of looking at tools that would be required to disassemble and repair and upgrade light fittings. In terms of providing data with equipment so that somebody, possibly not even the original manufacturer, can repair or upgrade a light fitting. These are the sort of things that will play in circular economy, and indeed things that we're working on and we have improvements to make too. We've always said, call us out on things. If you think we can do better on something, we're listening.
Patrick, sum up for us where you are in relation to a company like Stoane Lighting, which clearly is going to make inroads into all kinds of places that we don't even know about yet, because these guys are doing bus stations, and they're doing cathedrals, and they're doing offices, and they're doing retail, and you guys
even residential.
And yeah, and they've got your stuff inside them. So how does that work? Apart from the fact that you're doing a lot of business with them, which is great, but in terms of when you're on the outside looking in at a company like Stoane Lighting, what do you learn from them?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a mechanical engineer, so coming into the Stoane Lighting factory, always, your heart starts to beat faster, seeing all these machines, seeing all the flexibility they can bring into the product, and that's why we have such a close relationship as well. In terms of when customers ask me who can do this, most of the time, it's Stoane Lighting, because people want something special. If they want something like a can or a downlight, usually people know where to go to Stoane Lighting for these products, because you want something special.
If there's one thing that you would really like Xicato to do?
No, I think Xicato have always been very responsive. We petition quite hard at times for what we think people need and make our feelings known. And we've always felt like a really small manufacturing company up in Scotland, punching a bit above our weight, and having companies like Xicato listen to us, which is flattering. But it's helped. I think if you go back a few years, when the Xicato module first came out, 19 millimeters, and that was that. We need something smaller because these beams aren't tight enough. I'm sure everybody was saying it, but we kept saying it, and eventually they came. So it's nice working with suppliers who understand what we're trying to do and try and help us with what's needed.
Okay, and on that note, Ali, thanks very much for your time this afternoon. Patrick, good to speak to you again. And to all of you out there who've been hopefully enjoying this last half-hour chat, hope to see you again next time. Thanks very much, and goodbye.